y'all might be too young for this. Yeah, you might be a little too young for this, but I'm wondering, do you ever remember watching Sesame Street? Were you of that era? Were you of that generation where you were watching Sesame Street and back in the day, you remember all those characters and Big Bird and Ernie and all of them. But do you remember the lyrics to the song? Yeah, the lyrics to the song kind of went something like this. Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Don't ask me to sing it now. But here it is. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Yeah, those are the lyrics. That was the song. I was on tune right there. Yeah, Sesame Street, huh? But here's the flip side of that. The flip side of that is Stressamy Street. That's right, I said it. Stressamy Street. Say it with me. Stressamy Street. Can you tell me how to get off Stressamy Street? And that's today what I want to talk about. Stressamy Street. Why it's your turn for a U-turn. Hey, you've been going in the wrong direction with the wrong people. Time for you to turn around. Time for you to get off that road. Time for you to get on a different pathway. Time for you to shift to another degree in another dimension so that you can set your journey to another level. One of the things that you got to get on Boundary Boulevard. And if you're going to get on Boundary Boulevard, you've got to set boundaries. How many times you going to keep allowing people to run you ragged? How many times you going to keep allowing people to put your blood pressure all the way up? How many times you going to keep going back and forth with people like it's a tennis match, like it's an argument? You're not you're not starring in the movie The Great Debaters. Why are you arguing with folks? How many times you going to keep trying to give people a piece of your mind, but only be left with just a piece of your mind, but no peace of mind? How many times you going to keep placating and acting nice, and now you nice nasty with other folks? When you need to get off Stressamy Street, is the relationship Stressamy Street? Are the people who you're talking to and texting, do they have you on Stressamy Street? Here's what you got to do. You have to shift to Boundary Boulevard. The only people who are upset about you having boundaries are the folks who can no longer control you. Did you hear what I just said? They can no longer manipulate you. They can no longer leave your emotions tattered and tested and torn while you're trying to be tried and true. You have to set boundaries. Boundaries says, listen, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. Boundaries is, I said what I said. I mean what I said. I'm standing 10 toes down on what I said. Boundary says, listen, this is as far as this relationship is going to go. Boundaries have now caused you to man up or to woman up, or for you to now have a backbone. You grew a backbone rather than you having a wishbone. You wish you could do something about it. You wish you could say something. You wish you could stand up. This, that, the other. No. It's over with. No more wishbone. Now you have a backbone. It's no longer you playing nice. Now it's time for you to be kind. Being kind enough to yourself first to say, this is the way that I need to live my life. This is the way that I'm going to live my life. Well, I thought just being kind and not being nice. Am I supposed to be nice to people? No. For those of us, no scripture. There is no scripture in the Bible that says to be nice. It says to be ye kind. Be ye kind towards one another. Don't allow people to take your kindness as weakness. Kindness says, listen, I'm not going to let you run all over me. Kindness says, I'm not going to let you treat me like a doormat and let you step all over my heart, my mind, my feelings, and my emotions. I'm not going to allow you to manipulate me due to your crying and your lying and your denying. Mm-mm. I'm drawing a line in the sand to stand 10 toes down on what it is that I said. I'm on Boundary Boulevard. I'm getting off Stressamy Street and I'm going on Boundary Boulevard. I don't know if you remember Oscar the Grouch. Y'all remember Sesame Street, Oscar the Grouch? Mm-hmm. Yeah, Oscar the Grouch, one of those main characters on Sesame Street. In the midst of Big Bird and Ernie and all those other characters, Oscar the Grouch was grumpy. Oscar the Grouch, here it is. He always had a gripe about something. And how many people do you know who are always grouchy, always grumpy? Here it is. They have a problem for every solution. Come on. You tell them your dream and they want to kill it immediately. You tell them what you're going to do. Oh, I don't think that can be done. Well, I wasn't asking for you to be a co-signer. And that's why you have to watch who you tell your dreams to people. Here's the best thing that you can do in this season is button your lip. Nobody can kill a dream that they don't know about. Nobody can try to put you in a pit like they did Joseph just because you're telling them your dream. Sometimes not always others. Sometimes it's sisters and his brothers. All skin folk ain't kinfolk. So you have to watch who it is that you're telling your dreams to. You have to watch who it is that you're in conversation with. You have to watch who you bring in proximity and connection to you. You got to watch the people and the patterns of what it is those people even exemplify. What is the pattern that they're always exemplifying? It's always negativity. It's always what somebody said. It's always what somebody did. It's always some gossip. It's always some, oh boy, what's going on now? Their countenance is grumpy. Their attitude is grouchy. They always have a gripe about something. They are Oscar the Grouch. And here's where Oscar the Grouch lives. Oscar the Grouch lives in a trash can. How many times are you going to continually allow people to bring you trash when you know you're a treasure? Why are you allowing people to dump their junk in you when you're a jewel? You are not no human receptacle. You are not a human trash can. Let the trash stay where it stays. Let the trash, here it is, the trash will always take itself out. Keep your hands off it. Keep your hands away from those negative, trashy folks who are always bringing you trash about other people. Come on. They're always the topic of conversation when you're around. But I guarantee you, when you get up from the table, you're going to be the topic of conversation. They're going to trash your name just as bad as they trash the other person's name. Get away from Oscar the Grouch. He's grumpy. He's got a gripe. He lives in a trash can. Some people, it doesn't matter what it is that they have on. They could have on Louis Vuitton. They could have on Gucci. They could be wearing Issey Miyake. They could be wearing Thierry Mugler, Angel, fragrance, perfume. Does not matter. Their attitude introduces them before the fragrance that they're wearing does. Is their personality a fragrance or is it an odor? Is their aura an odor? You don't want to be around that aura. You don't want to be around trashy people who are around doing negativity and dingy, dirty, rotten attitude. Just as rotten as a Rottweiler. Get all those type of individuals out of your life. Here's another thing about Oscar. Oscar the Grouch loves to argue. You always got an argument about something. Get away from those argumentative people. Get away from those people who always want to go 0 to 100 real quick and treat a conversation like it's a tennis match. They always bring in the racket like Venus and Serena. Set boundaries. Get off Sesame Street and get on Boundary Boulevard. Get the Oscar the Grouches out of your life. Secondly, you got to get on Peaceful Pathway. You have to get on Peaceful Pathway. You have to get on a purposeful pathway. You cannot get on a purposeful pathway if you don't know your purpose. Because here's the thing. If your purpose hits you square up right side up your head, you wouldn't even know what it was. Because you have no discernment. You have not discovered it. And because you have not discovered it, you cannot develop it. And because it's not been discovered or developed, you cannot be deployed into it. Got to get on peaceful pathway, purposeful pathway. And that is finding some peace within. Sometimes peace is what people call boring, but you got to get used to boredom. Boredom, for what people call, is consistency. Boredom says, you know what? I'm not going to be around everybody. I'm working on my goals and my dreams. To many people, that's boring. But it ought to be to where you're exploring your next level, to where it's imploring you to grow, to where you're discovering your greatness, to where you say, I'm not running red lights, stopping on green lights. I'm not going to confuse green flags with red flags and vice versa. I am moving into a place of peace, purpose, promise, possibility. Why? Because I'm in proximity to my next level. I'm in proximity to the place where it is that I need to be. I'm not dealing with negativity. I'm not going to entertain it. I'm not going to share my dreams with people who now cause nightmares. Why? Because I'm avoiding the cookie monsters. You got to avoid the Oscar the Grouches. You've also got to avoid Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster, another one of those characters in Sesame Street. Here's what Cookie Monster always did. Cookie Monster always had a handout to take, never to give. How many times do you know? How many people do you know who always want to take something from you? They always want to leech off of you. They never have anything to give. Come on, you invite them to your house. The first thing that they do, they go on into your refrigerator without your permission. You told them make themselves at home. And now they're trying to move in. They come to take, but not to give. Come on, you ride them around. You take them here, there, everywhere. They won't even offer you any gas money. They only have a handout to take, but not to give. You need people who are givers in your life. You need people to where, here it is, they're not making more withdrawals than deposits. That's the type of cookie monster that they are. Making more withdrawals than deposits. And when people make more withdrawals than deposits, it's always an overdraft. When people make more withdrawals than deposits, here's what you always end up being. You always being in the place to where you are in the red. You always end up in a particular place to where you're emotionally bankrupt, psychologically bankrupt, spiritually bankrupt, relationally bankrupt, because you had so many people take from you. But how many people were actually willing to give to you? And here's what Cookie Monster does. Cookie Monster is exemplary of the fact that they're not just eating cookies, not just eating chocolate chip cookies. I think that was his main cookie. And he's just eating peanut butter cookies. Lord, I knows I would like some of those, but I need to stay away from those. He's eating all them cookies, but it's symbolic of the fact that people who are just like Cookie Monster are oftentimes eating up your joy. Who's eating up your peace? Who's eating up your serenity and your stability? Who's eating away at your financial bank account? Who's eating away at your 401k? Who's eating away at all the groceries that you buy, but they never replenish them? Who's eating away at your peace and your increase? Why? Because they have an air of entitlement. Cookie Monster had an air of entitlement. He just believed that everything that was put out there was already his. He couldn't even enjoy the food. He's just, consuming it left and right. How many times are people consuming everything that you have? Consuming your gas, consuming your money, consuming your food, consuming your time. Hmm? They feel like, here it is, because of that air of entitlement, they feel like what you have belongs to them without them even having to work for it. They feel like what you have belongs to them. And here it is, when you give it to them, they treat it any old kind of way. That's what they do. Whatever you give them, they treat it any old kind of way. I remember when I would get Jordans as a kid, or I get some shoes as a kid. Sometimes I treat those shoes any old kind of way. I'd be outside playing basketball in some Jordans, be doing the moonwalking Jordans on cement, running through the mud with Jordans on. But here's the thing, I treated them that way. They were bought for me. But when I bought them, the narrative changed. When I took one step, I had a brush and I was cleaning it with each step I took. The next step I took, the brush was in the other hand, cleaning the shoe. Right? I was walking with my toes bent in the shoes so I wouldn't bend the shoe. It's a difference when you invest in you versus oftentimes when somebody else invests in you. When you bought it, when you put your sweat equity into it, you don't have a sense of entitlement anymore. You now have a sense of sustenance because you're trying to sustain what it is that you purchased. You're not trying to consume everything. You're trying to preserve it. And you need the type of people in your life who are going to put you on a peaceful, purposeful pathway, who are going to support you being on a peaceful and purposeful pathway versus trying to consume everything, putting emotional potholes in the road for you to continue to hit, for you to continue to stumble. Sesame, get away from that. Get off Sesame Street. It's time for you to do a U-turn. It's your turn to do a U-turn. That's what we're talking about. Of course, I told you, number one, you got to get to the particular place. If you're going to get off Sesame Street, you're going to have to make sure that you're on Boundary Boulevard. Got to set those boundaries, be on that particular boulevard. Got to make sure that you are on a peaceful and purposeful pathway so that you can get, here it is, last but not least, to Strengthen Me Street. You got to get off Stressing Me Street to find yourself on Strengthen Me Street. You got to do the Google Maps, whatever it is. Sometimes you riding around, you getting it. You going in circles all around and around when you just need to do a U-turn. And you need to find your place. You need to find your path. You need to get off the wrong road so that you can get on the right road. Strengthen Me Street. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. That means leaving a bad relationship. I can do all things. That means getting out of toxic connections. I can do all things. That means changing bad habits. I can do all things. That means disassociating yourself from those who are deleterious to your destiny. I can do all things. You can do all things when you get your mindset to that next level. Strengthening you. Who are the people in your life who are strengthening you? Are they depleting you or are they enriching you? Are they charging you, recharging you, or are they draining you? You got to get around the type of people who are going to strengthen you and will support you through what they go through. They're not worriers, they're warriors. They're not chumps, they're champions. They're not chickens, they're eagles. They're soaring to new levels. Yes, I thought about Oscar the Grouch. I thought about, of course, Cookie Monster. But there was this also other character, kind of this underrated, overlooked character in Sesame Street called Count Von Count. Now, Count Von Count was a vampire. He was a vampire. You got to watch out for people who are vampires who suck the life out of your goals and your dreams. Who have a thirst to see you bloodied and bruised. Who will now hurt you to a place to where you bleed on people who didn't cut you. Count Von Count was a vampire. Gotta watch out for those vampire type of people who always come to suck the life out of your sustenance, suck the life out of your goals and your dreams and your desires and your increase. Here's what they would rather see you do. They would rather see you bleed than lead. They're not happy unless you're unhappy. They have a problem if you have a solution. They hate that you are in love. They can't stand to see you move into a place of increase. They want to see you decrease. They are drama-filled people who are dream killers. Told you they'd rather see you bleed than lead. Here's what they do. They don't count it all joy. They count all the things that they did for you. That's what they do. They count all the things that they did for you. Why? Because they have ulterior motives. They're always bringing up what they did for you. Let me count the ways. Remember I did this for you? Remember I did that for you? Remember I did this for you? Remember I did that for you? They're always counting the ways of what it is that they did for you because now they want you to pay them back. Here it is with interest. Got to be careful who you accept gifts from. Got to be careful who you allow in close quarters. They will count up the ways of how you owe them. But here's the thing. You can never count on them. Count Von Count. Can't count on Count Von Count. But Count is going to keep on counting. But I come to let you know that those who counted you out can't count. Those who try to count you out miscounted. And here's what you have to do. You got to get off Stressing Me Street. Stressing Me Street of people who always have an attitude. When you have an attitude of gratitude, get rid of those Oscar the Grouches. Grouchy and grumpy. Get rid of those cookie monsters who always come to eat up everything that you have. Eat up your joy and your peace and your increase. They come to leech off of you. They come to take, but they never come to give or replenish. Let them go. Distance yourself from the Count Von Counts who you can't count on them. Who always come to suck the life out of what it is that you're doing. Always leaving you drained. They want to see you bleed instead of lead. And now it's time for you to get onto a place of Boundary Boulevard. Get on a peaceful, purposeful pathway. Get on, here it is, Strengthen Me Street. The wrong one will tell you how to get to Stressing Me Street. Can you tell me how to get to Stressing Me Street? I'm trying to tell you how to get off that street. It's your turn to make a U-turn. It's your turn to go into a different direction. It's your turn to go into an opposite direction for a different location. Stop letting those negative people put you on Stressing Me Street. Always got a gripe. They always bitter, never better. They always have a problem for a solution. Get off the wrong road and get into a peaceful pathway. Get onto Breakthrough Boulevard. Can I tell you how to get off Stressing Me Street? I'm telling you, we are on a place to where we are breaking through barriers, building healthy boundaries, moving to a place of a peaceful, purposeful pathway on Strengthen Me Street. I guarantee you that if you go to the location, you'll make it to your destination. What's the location? TheEaglesAcademy.com. Once you go there right now, I want you to enroll. I want you to enroll into our amazing community, our amazing academy, where we speak life into your life. TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button, fill out the form. Really quick, short form. You're going to be transformed. Your ideas, your impact, your influence, and your income is going to be transformed. Don't you see yourself into a place where you're moving to a status of abounding, building, growing, nurturing, developing? I come to let you know that your network determines your net worth. Get into a network of gifted leaders where a win for you is a win for them too, where you actually get tangible, practical tools, principles, steps, and strategies, systems to take your vision to another dimension. It's time for you to get your wings and soar. Get your wings to win in our Eagles Academy. TheEaglesAcademy.com. When you get there, tap the join now button. Fill out the form. I guarantee you're going to be transformed. I know you were transformed by this conversation. It was totally different. I know. Stressing me street, right? Get off of there. I know it was a transformative conversation. I want you to sow into this. I want you to sow into this. I want you to give a love gift. I know you enjoyed the conversation. Send a love donation. Send a love donation on Cash App, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. The work that I'm doing goes beyond right here, but it reaches out there into the community as I'm feeding, as I'm serving, as I'm mentoring many of our young brothers through literacy, leadership, life skills development, through my Boys to Books program, through giving back to those who are less fortunate, through just being an advocate for change, especially as I serve as a pastor of the Remnant Worshipers Ministry right here in the city of Detroit. Your gifts can help me to give in a greater way. I would that you would sow even right now, sow to help us grow. You've enjoyed the conversation. Send a love donation. Cash App, $Dr. Eddie Ministries, PayPal, info@EddieConnor.com, and even on Zelle, EddieConnorJr at gmail.com. I would that you would hit the thumbs up button on this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. That really, really helps our channel. Really, really helps the channel. Channel for change, our channel that creates change, our channel that breaks chains. Hit the thumbs up button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on social media as well at EddieConnorJr, EddieConnorJr. Put some respect on my name, family. EddieConnorJr. And let's connect there. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comments below. That's it. On your mark, get set, go. And you know I got to go. But I want you to know, it's been yours truly, Dr. Eddie, your main man, 100 grand, your brother. And I mean that from another mother family. Has been fun, but you know, brother got to run. So I want you to know it's been a privilege and a pleasure, a treat and a treasure, a joy beyond measure. But I want you, yes, you to remember to keep the faith and believe it's going to be bigger, better, brighter. Peace and a whole lot of love. Keep soaring higher. I want you to go ahead and get your hands on my new book, Know Your No. It's all about how to build healthy boundaries and love without losing yourself. Boundaries are not limitations. Boundaries are for liberation. You're going to find a way to unbox yourself. You're going to find a way to really love yourself and to move into a place of emotional regulation, to stand your ground, to draw a line in the sand, stand 10 toes down on it. Don't do the electric slide. Don't moonwalk away from it, but really stand wholeheartedly down on what it is that you say. It's for your protection. It's for your self-care. Moves you into a greater place of self-awareness and emotional regulation and developing your mental health and creating boundaries so that you can abound to a new and a greater level. Go right now to get a signed copy at EddieConnor.com. EddieConnor.com. And then, of course, you can also get it on Amazon. Go and get the book right now.